What's going on, everybody? This is Eric Brent, EB. And the last couple of days, I've been talking about these tariffs because my name and my channel is Follow the Money, Family Cash Machine, Follow the Money. And have you ever noticed that most of us are not what we imagined ourselves to be when we were children? Most kids have great imaginations. And usually when we are kids, we imagine that we want to be a certain specific thing, and most of us today are not what we imagined we would be. There's a couple of reasons why that is the case. Number one is, of course, we were so immature, we didn't really uh, understand life at that point, or we didn't really have the knowledge and had acquired the information of what it is that we wanted, and who we are. Because what you are and who you are has to actually be compatible. So that was one of the reasons. The second reason is we have not yet been introduced to the haters. We had no idea about jealousy and haterism and the levels of that and the vibrations to interact with your vibration throughout life. Third of all, we had not yet had our first kiss, fell in love, fell out of love, had certain frustrations and disappointments in life. So it's a lot of multiple reasons why we're not, most of us, what we imagined, or that thing has changed as we grew. Many of us have got kind of, I don't like to use the word stuck. That's a word I never like to use. But many of us have got somewhat um, forced into a lifestyle that we don't really appreciate, or we don't really want. We could have had kids early. We could have, had a lot of responsibility, got married early. And there's certain circumstances, um, undergirding circumstances that may have kind of like pushed us into a lifestyle where we just kind of got, you know, into this existing mode where we just had to just do what we had to do. I talk to so many people all the time that are, working jobs that they just hate, absolutely despise. I mean, and when you really look at it, stress and depression is very prevalent right now in this country. Now, we're heading towards some very troubling times. Very, very troubling times as far as economics, because we're living in a shift. Things are shifting. Politically, things are shifting. Things are shifting ideologically, methodology and ideology. Ideologies are changing. Mindsets are changing. Economics is changing, and money is changing. So, with all these different changes, it's going to require for us to reevaluate our position, our destination, what we're trying to do, and where we're trying to go. But back to the point as to why most of us are not fulfilling the imaginary destinies that we had as a children, as children. And some of us are. Some of us was right on the money. Some of us hit it right on the money and stayed the course. And we had families, we had a father or we had a mother that continued to edify and continued to push you towards what that is that you saw yourself doing. For most of us, that's not the case. Life happens. And I've noticed that, a bad relationship could really throw you off course. A bad husband or a bad wife, if they're not in accord to the ambitions and dreams and visions that you have, it could really throw you off course. And sometimes there's jealousy between uh, spouses. I've seen that too, where the husband might be jealous of the wife's focus and ambition and drive, and sometimes I've seen it where the man was, excuse me, the woman was jealous of the man's focus and drive. So these type of things will come into the way of you accomplishing what it is you envision yourself. But right now, the one of the reasons we created this channel was to focus on money, because I realize that most people don't understand money. Most people don't understand economics. Most people don't see themselves as being the chosen one, who may be the one that perpetuates their family into a position towards generational wealth. Now, you may not be the one that creates generational wealth, but you could be the one that creates and sparks the idea in your family and create the plan and agenda towards generational wealth. And that's pretty much what the family cash machine was about and is about. And right now, I'm seeing that it's very imperative that I get back on my horse, get out here, start touching people, talking to people, interacting with people, giving them a piece of my energy, because pretty much all of my life, anything I've set my mind to, I've been able to accomplish. And a lot of it comes with me just having a strong self confidence in who I am. And a lot of it has to be come with the fact that I had a father and I had a mother in my life. And my mother used to tell me as a child, she always supported me. She always told me that I could do whatever I wanted to do. I'm smart enough to figure out whatever I want to figure out. And as a 5 or 6 or 7 year old child, I mean, you might go to church and you might, go to Sunday school, but you really, really don't know God. So the closest thing in my mind and the closest thing in my realm and my atmosphere to God was my mother and my father. So I was blessed enough to have the support that I needed. So as I came up with different ventures and different things I wanted to do, I was able to have the support and the confidence to do that. Now, let's talk about confidence for a minute, because a lot of times, because we have life happens, right after high school, bills come, you might have a lover, you might have a child, you might, certain things happen to where all of a sudden you got to get busy with life. You got to start earning money. And I get that. And you got some people like my brother actually loves his job. My brother has a job that actually fits his personality. He builds scaffolds. He works for the oil refinery, gets paid great money, but at the same time, he loves his job. He loves what he do. And I've met quite a few individuals. And if this is who you are and you have a particular career that you absolutely love and you just kind of stumbled in that career, then more power to you. But at the same time, I want to re-edify and re-educate to you, reiterate to you that re-educate, excuse me, I made up a word. Sometimes I do that. I twist words up because I study so many words. I studied etymology, so sometimes I mix words up. But I want to reiterate that just because you have a job that you absolutely love doesn't mean you still shouldn't learn how to invest. You still shouldn't have passive streams of income. You still should have goals set of prosperity and goals set of happiness and goals set of some type of reset button or a button where you can just kick back and relax. There used to be a time in the United States when you had a job and then after 20 or 30 years on your job, you was able to retire. They gave you a golden watch. You had your retirement fund. You was able to just call it your golden years. You was able to travel all over the United States. I mean, all over excuse me, United States, all over the world. You was able to travel all over the world in your golden years. That now is a fleeting dream. It's not a dream anymore. It's pretty much a nightmare. So today, because of the cost of living is so high, it's so expensive. I don't care what it is you do. You could even be a doctor. You still need to learn money. You still need to learn passive streams of income. You still need to be able to live your dreams, because most of us, no matter what our profession is, we want to travel. We want to see the world. We want to have, buy things. You want to have the nice cars. You want to have the jewelry you want. I mean, most of us have certain things that we want. And in order to obtain those things today, you got to think differently. You have to think differently. But back to why we're not living out the imaginary vision that we had as a child is because this world is designed to basically crush your dreams. This world is designed to basically tell you what you can't, what you can't, what you can't do. This world is designed in a way to where you go to school, you get all these degrees just to fit in. And when I realized and I studied, most of the multimillionaires in the world and billionaires dropped out of school. Some of them didn't go to college. Some of them dropped out of college. Bill Gates dropped out of college. Mike Zuckerberg dropped out of college. Most of your multi-billionaires dropped out of college or didn't go to college. And reason being is because they had to come out of the mindset of the world and the curriculum of the world to just be normal. You cannot have that mindset to just be normal. Because if you want to just be normal, then you're not going to think outside the box. Like I said, it's okay to have a job, but just to have that job today, don't cut it. I don't even doctors today, most doctors, most judges, most senators, most congressmen, their bulk of their income is not their job. It's the people they know, the circle they're around, the information that they get access to, the resources that they get access to, the people they interact with. So this is why I'm saying what I'm saying is because we have to expand how we think. I made this channel for the average person. I didn't make this channel for super wealthy people. I didn't make this channel for the people who are just so wise. And I made this channel to reach average people and to get them to think about money in a different way, to teach them about money in a different way. As you guys all know, I lived out the country for 4 years. People told me that they don't know how I did that. I lived in a country where I didn't even speak the language. And this country that I lived in predominantly spoke that language. There wasn't too many people that didn't speak that language. Like when you go to, I've been to Africa before, I've been to South Africa, I've been to Kenya. When you go to these countries, mainly in Africa, these individuals speak multiple languages. I've met girls and guys that spoke 10 languages, but they still speak English. See, and when you go to Asia, they speak their native Asian language, whether it's you know, whether it's the Chinese language, the Japanese, they speak their language, but they still speak English. Most of the parts of the world, the educated parts of the world, they speak English because the mighty dollar. Oh, mighty dollar. They want that dollar and they want to know how to interact in business in American dollars. So they learn English as a business. See, but when I went to Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, I was just really like, you know, at all at how predominant just Spanish is. They don't have a lot of multi language. Now, it's funny when I met the Haitian people speak Creole, they speak Spanish, a lot of them speak English. Most of those, I don't know why it is. Most of the darker skinned people around the world speak multiple languages, but for some reason, in Dominican, a lot of those didn't really identify with being black. The Dominicans mainly say they were Latin, but they didn't really identify with being black, even though someone was look like me. They thought I was Dominican until I opened my mouth. But I lived in that country for 4 years based on my mindset. I was able to buy a car. I was able to buy a house. I was able to have 3 apartments because my mindset of entrepreneurism and my mindset of kind of hustle and entrepreneurism was how I was able to live. I was able to make those American dollars and still enjoy my life. But what I noticed when I lived there, we don't really enjoy our life. When I noticed when I went to Paris and I went and took my family to France, back in 2005, I took my whole family to France and me and my wife went to go get a pizza and we went to get it to go. And the guy was like, no, 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 slow down. No, we don't want you to eat to go. Sit down with your wife. Your kids is in the hotel. We feed you, drink some wine, relax, talk to your wife, and enjoy. And it just blew my mind away because coming from the United States, I'm always on the go, 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 go. And when I was doing real estate appraisals, I was eating in my car a lot, then driving around, taking pictures and doing stuff. We get used to that hustle bustle in this country because it's so expensive to live. You have to be on your toes at all times. So when you go to other countries, you might think they too laid back. Like, man, y'all too relaxed over here. But because the cost of living is not that expensive. The cost of living is not that expensive. That's why they can be relaxed. They can make $300-400 a month and be great. But I don't want us to move to these countries because there's a lot of expats now. I see people moving to Thailand, people moving to Dominican, people moving to Philippines. I see a lot of people, and even Africa. Africa is opening up. So many different countries now opening up in Africa, and the business opportunities are phenomenal. Trust me. But again, you got to think outside the box. You have to think outside the box. You have to start creating a different mindset. Well, I said all that to say this, I'm cranking up again these courses to teach people a different mindset. We're teaching money, we're teaching blockchain, we're teaching decentralization, we're teaching Web3, and we're teaching trading. We have a lot of different things going on to help individuals. And we have a couple of real solid things that you guys can invest your money in. Now, we don't touch your money. I don't want to touch nobody's money. I'm going to show you where to put your own money. I have beginners and advanced and super mega wealthy people to different things they can, put their money in securely, something they can put their money in secure. But I don't like to just help you, show you where to put the money. I want you to understand it. I'm not the kind of guy to just say, "Hey, put your money over there and it's going to grow." I might have something for you to grow. I really have things right now going where I have about three things that I can show you where to put money in, and over a 2 or 3 or 4 year period, it's gonna do you well. I mean, very well. But I'm not interested in just showing you, okay, put your money over there and it's gonna happen. But I want you to understand it. And I also don't want to touch your money. I don't want to touch nobody's money. I'm going to teach you guys how to invest, what to invest in, and you're going to control your own investment. Yes, that's what we're gonna do. And that way, hey, I'll keep my hands clean. I don't want to touch your money. I got my own things I got going on, but I do. I'm not one of those guys like most people. They want to be the big dog. They want to have the big money, and they want to be the only one prosper and screw everybody else. I'm not like that. I love sharing with everyone because the industries that I'm in requires that more people invest. I mean, the more people invest, the better it is. That's with anything. If I'm investing in Microsoft, the more people buy Microsoft, the better. I mean, duh. I mean, I don't want to be the only one investing. So, but I'm not doing stocks right now. I do have classes to teach you how to do stocks or forex and stuff like that. But right now, my main focus right now is just to teach you first money, teach you money, teach you crypto because crypto is a microscopic is a micro of the macro. Okay, it's a smaller level of investment than say stocks and all that stuff. It's a smaller level. So you learn on a smaller level. And you learn on a smaller level and understand money on a smaller level. Then you go to the bigger stuff when you're more comfortable, when you're more advanced, when you understand more. And like I said, it doesn't matter what you're doing in life. I think so many of us at a point in life, we don't really care that much about the specific profession. If I was to give somebody $10 million right now, they wouldn't really care what profession I'm in. I mean, as long as I'm not doing nothing illegal. But I'm saying most people just want the money. Most people want the success. I'm the type of person, I don't want the fame. Keep the fame. Oh no, I don't want the fame. I had a friend of mine, rapper friend of mine, I'm not gonna say his name, and he just flew to Punta Cana, and he had to take a private jet, and he had to fly uh, a helicopter from Santo Domingo to Punta Cana because he can't go to the airport. There's no way he can go to the airport. He's popping right now. There's no way everybody knows him. If I say the name, you'll be like, oh, dang, you know him? But I'm not into that or who I know and all that. No. But I'm saying to you guys, I don't want fame. That's me. That's just my personality because I want to be that guy walking through the mall with the black card. Nobody know who I am really, but just a few little viewers on YouTube or whatever, and I can buy anything I want. That's the guy I want to be. I don't want to be that guy everybody knows. I don't have any privacy. I go to the bathroom. It's a gang of people outside the bathroom waiting for me to come out. I don't. No. I'm cool with that. That's not what I want in life. I'm not concerned about, being praised and all that stuff. It means nothing to me. I'm past that. My age right now, I'm past that. So at a younger age, maybe so. At a more mature age, That doesn't mean much to me. I really get a kick out of teaching people, helping people to learn about money. So again, you guys, I'm not going to keep too long. If you are interested, I'm going to start revving it up, start putting out flyers on my Facebook, on my Instagrams. You guys follow me, EB Crypto, at EB Crypto, which is my Instagram at EB Crypto is my Instagram, at EB Crypto is my TikTok, and Family Cash Machine, Follow the Money, my YouTube, and Family Cash Machine, my fan Facebook page. I will be start promoting more of elevating people. See, this is not about just me showing you stuff. No, this is about elevation. This is about elevation. This is where we at. So if you guys out there tired and sick and tired of being sick and tired, if you want them individuals sick and tired of being sick and tired, this might be for you. You get this is probably for you to start learning how to elevate yourself out of the condition that you're in. So with that, I'm signing out, you guys. EB Crypto, deuces.